Good evening, I'm Jill Valley.
I'm Dennis Bragg.
It's Christmas in February for the city of Missoula as $31 million in state and federal money comes through for the second phase of reconstructing Russell Street.
And although the city will have to commit several years worth of local urban project funding, the development is a huge step forward in completely solving one of the city's worst bottlenecks.
It's one of the biggest pieces of transportation news this year for Missoula. As word came this morning, the Montana Department of Transportation is offering an agreement to completely fund the second phase of Russell Street reconstruction. The $31 million combines federal and state money set aside specifically for regional transportation projects. It will pay for the reconstruction from Dakota south to Mount, as well as the remaining improvements for the Russell and Broadway intersection north of the soon-to-be-finished new bridge. The agreement requires the city to commit its local urban transportation funding for the next 5 to 10 years, but in return the city will be able to put on the brakes if the project exceeds those funds.
Essentially, if the bid comes back over that budget of available federal funds, the city can say we're not going to send this project to bid. So that's one point where we can check in and say, are we on budget, and are we going to make sure we don't go forward with the project knowing that we don't have enough funds.
The goal is to continue the same sidewalks, bike lanes, and lighting. We don't know if the dangerous Bitterroot Trail crossing will be tunneled like the Milwaukee Trail, but Wilson says the city would have to pay for extras.
The agreement says standard MDT design criterion. What that means is things like special decorative lighting that the city may request as part of the design might be a cost that the city would have to cover.
Even though phase 2 of the Russell Street reconstruction doesn't involve building a bridge, it's still going to be very expensive. A big part of that is right-of-way costs. Now, the state has been acquiring property as it became available in anticipation of this big reconstruction project. And they need to get the work done now. Officials say if they don't, the price is only going to go up.
You can imagine if it takes us another 15 years to build up the funding necessary to deliver the project. If we're buying right-of-way 15 years from now, it's going to be considerably more expensive than it is today.
Council members welcome the fund, saying the news is a big deal, solving a transportation problem that's been kicked around for nearly 25 years.
Council expects to take final action on that agreement on Monday. Then the city and state will start working on planning and design with opportunities for public input.